Good morning from the German Rhön. I'm here mainly to visit my parents. I couldn't resist this morning to head out and try to grab some photos, and for this I've come to a nearby woodland which I'm just walking into, and yeah, you see the trees are already putting on their autumn dress, so it's autumn here in Germany. And yeah, I hope to find some colorful compositions, some colorful photos. But it's also kind of a struggle for me, a challenge, because usually I don't shoot woodland very often. So what you see me doing normally is like photographing some waterfalls, some streams in the forest, but just woodland, just trees. And yeah, that's something I struggle with because the forests in Germany, they are quite chaotic, so lots of different trees, there's branches, lots of clutter lying around, and it's hard to find an orderly composition in this chaos. And yeah, this is what I'm trying today, trying to find some composition which is kind of clean, which brings some order in this chaos. And yeah, I bring you again, so let's head into the forest and see what we find. So I started walking around a bit in this forest, and it's looking very nice. You have those different kinds of trees which also bring the chaos, but yeah, get some colors here, and it seems there's a little mist in the air. Not yet as much as I'd like to, but yeah, maybe it's building up a bit. It rained the night, so the ground is wet. Maybe some of this evaporates if the sun comes out. But I'm not sure, it's still thick clouds, so as usual when I'm out shooting these days, you have a grey sky. But as so often for forest and woodland, this shouldn't matter too much. Got my polarizer with me, so those colors you see here, those greens, yellows, they will really pop if I use a polarizer. But still, I have to find a composition which works, so I have to walk around a little bit longer. So let's see. So I've been walking around trying to find something which catches my eye, and yeah, it wasn't much till now, but those trees, at least they are colorful and they're kind of standing out here. It's also not too much clutter around, so I might give it a try. It doesn't look absolutely stunning, but it's looking nice enough for me to try and get a photo of it. So let's see. Not yet sure. Usually if you're walking through a forest, you often catch something which looks nice, which looks kind of cool, and once you set up the camera and then have the 2D image in front of you, you suddenly begin to notice all this clutter, all this stuff, which you then have to try to remove from the composition to bring in some order. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting if I'll be able to capture this scene. So I've set up the camera and I'll quickly show you what we get here. So I'm thinking of a 16.9 crop, which I just set up using the crop modes in the camera just to see how it would look. And yeah, this is, as I already said in another video of mine, quite helpful. So having those main trees, to the 1/3 of the image, then having those branches, those colorful branches hanging into the frame on this side, and then you can look a bit more into the distance where you have more trees. And what's looking nice in this image or in this scene is all those leaves you have on the ground here. Those colors are very nice, and yeah, they make for a nice contrast to the greener areas in the background. So what I'm really missing now is like a little bit of fog. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm at f9.5 and focus to this main tree. It's like 4 seconds, and I quickly grab a photo just as it is. I'm using the cable release, and I have to stand very still because the bottom here, the ground on which I set up the camera, it's very soft, so the camera can easily shake. So after I have this image, what I do, I mean, some of you might have seen it in another video of mine, I'll breathe onto the lens to create a little bit of atmosphere here. So let's do this. And then, while this mist disappears, I'll take a few other photos. And later I might be able to blend those to get a more mystic image. So let's see. So this is great. Just look in this direction. I couldn't have selected a better place for the photo. I didn't know where the sun would appear or if it would appear, but actually it appears right to the side of my composition. And it gives the scene a very nice soft side light. And yeah, well, I don't have to do anything here. I just wait and take a few more photos with the sun in it. And now as it disappears and the light gets softer, this actually did look quite nice. And yeah, now it's already gone again, you see? Yeah. Also, what I wanted to tell you, you saw it, or I talked about it in the beginning. Often those woodland scenes, they look quite cluttered, so there's a lot of stuff lying around, and yeah, what I did here, I just removed some of it. I cleaned up the area a bit, because why should I do this in Photoshop afterwards if I can do it now? So this was just branches lying around, and I moved it a bit to the side, so this didn't disturb the area. It was just cleaning up a little bit around this tree, and so I get a cleaner foreground to start with. So I'm on my way back to the car now. Spent like 2.5 hours in this forest, mainly trying to photograph this one scene which I showed you. And I'm really hoping the photos turn out good. I'm not yet sure if it was a success, because often with woodland you look at the small camera screen and the photos look nice, but once you open them up on the big screen, you suddenly begin to notice all this clutter, and suddenly this orderly composition which you thought you'd had is just chaos. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to look at the photos, and yeah, hopefully I also have something to show you now. See you!